The Victoria Cross is the highest and most prestigious award of the British honours system. It was established in January 1856 and exists as a national honour down to our present day. For a large part of that history, the fighting forces of the whole Commonwealth were eligible for the award. But in the 1990s, Australia, Canada, and New Zealand established their own honours systems, each with the Victoria Cross as the highest honour. The Victoria Cross for New Zealand was established in September 1999, and it's only been awarded one single time since then. The recipient was Lance-Corporal Willie Apiata. Apiata joined the New Zealand Army in October 1989 as part of the Hauraki Regiment of the Territorials, a part-time force attached to the Royal New Zealand Infantry Regiment. In 1996, he unsuccessfully tried to join the New Zealand Special Air Service, the New Zealand version of the famed SAS. After returning from deployments in East Timor, Apiata became a full-time soldier and once again tried out for the NZSAS. This attempt was successful, and he took up his service in November 2001. Of course, being a part of the NZSAS, not much is known about his movements, but we do know that sometime in 2004 he was in Afghanistan, and it was here that he was involved in actions that would lead to him becoming the first, and so far only, recipient of the Victoria Cross for New Zealand. The investiture took place in July 2007, and the citation reads as follows. Lance-Corporal, now Corporal, Apiata was, in 2004, part of a New Zealand Special Air Service troop on patrol in Afghanistan, which laid up in defensive formation for the night. At approximately 03:15 hours, the troop was attacked by a group of about 20 enemy fighters who had approached by stealth using the cover of undulating ground in pitch darkness. Rocket-propelled grenades struck two of the troop's vehicles, destroying one and immobilizing the other. The opening strike was followed by dense and persistent machine gun and automatic rifle fire from close range. The attack then continued using further rocket-propelled grenades and machine gun and rifle fire. The initial attack was directed at the vehicle where Lance-Corporal Apiata was stationed. He was blown off the bonnet by the impact of rocket-propelled grenades striking the vehicle. He was dazed but not physically injured. The two other vehicle crew members had been wounded by shrapnel. One of them, Corporal A, was in serious condition. Illuminated by the burning vehicle and under sustained and accurate enemy fire directed at and around their position, the three soldiers immediately took what little cover was available. Corporal A was discovered to have sustained life-threatening wounds. The other two soldiers immediately began applying basic first aid. Lance-Corporal Apiata assumed command of the situation, as he could see that his superior's condition was deteriorating rapidly. By this time, however, Lance-Corporal Apiata's exposed position, some 70 metres in front of the rest of the troop, was coming under increasingly intense enemy fire. Corporal A was now suffering serious arterial bleeding and was lapsing in and out of consciousness. Lance-Corporal Apiata concluded that his comrade urgently required medical attention, or he would likely die. Pinned down by the enemy in the direct line of fire between friend and foe, he also judged that there was almost no chance of such help reaching their position. As the enemy pressed its attack towards Lance-Corporal Apiata's position, and without thought of abandoning his colleague to save himself, he took a decision in the highest order of personal courage under fire. Knowing the risks involved in moving to open ground, Lance-Corporal Apiata decided to carry Corporal A single-handedly to the relative safety of the main troop position, which afforded better cover and where medical treatment could be given. He ordered his other colleague, Trooper T, to make his own way back to the rear. In total disregard of his own safety, Lance-Corporal Apiata stood up and lifted his comrade bodily. He then carried him across the 70 metres of broken, rocky and fire-swept ground, fully exposed in the glare of battle to heavy enemy fire, and into the face of returning fire from the main troop position. That neither he nor his colleague were hit is scarcely possible. Having delivered his wounded companion to relative shelter with the remainder of the patrol, Lance-Corporal Apiata rearmed himself and rejoined the fight and counterattack. By his actions, he removed the tactical complications of Corporal A's predicament from considerations of rescue. The troop could now concentrate entirely on prevailing in the battle itself. After an engagement lasting approximately 20 minutes, the assault was broken up, and the numerically superior attackers were routed with significant casualties, with the troop in pursuit. Lance-Corporal Apiata had thereby contributed materially to the operational success of the engagement. A subsequent medical assessment confirmed that Corporal A would probably have died of blood loss and shock had it not been for Lance-Corporal Apiata's selflessly courageous act in carrying him back to the main troop lines to receive the immediate treatment that he needed. Apiata stayed on with the military through until 2012, when he left full-time military service to teach adventure skills to young people at the High Wire Charitable Trust. At her request, Apiata attended the Queen's funeral in September 2022 and also represented recipients of the Victoria Cross at the coronation of Charles III in May 2023. Recently, in the wake of the devastation of Cyclone Gabriella, he helped raise over $220,000 to help recovery work in the region where he grew up. Often referred to as the reluctant hero, Willie Apiata's passion for his country and roots continue to be as strong as ever.